In this player review video, we're going to be taking a look at 4 of the players that came out with the All-Star game set. It's going to be Kaberle, 88 overall, 90 overall Havlat. We're going to skip the fucking All-Star himself because he's got a badass Halloween card. We're going to do 91 Tanguay and 94 Kaberle. So I think we should start off with the most expensive card here, Kaberle, 94 overall. There are his stats if you want to see him. Currently, he goes for a buttload of collectibles, or you can just buy him outright for about 600,000 bucks. It's a weird card though, because I'm not so sure it's going to rise back up in price. It's a great card to have, but if Datsuk lowers in price just a little bit, I would much rather have Datsuk on defense. So Kaberle over here is technically an offensive defenseman. If you go in with him into the offensive zone, you can expect a lot of speed, great puck handling, a very powerful shot. Alas, cycling with him is a pain in the ass because you take a shot from far away, you can expect that shot is going to miss the net. As I show you here with these 2 slappers. And then again, I'm going to go in with a snapshot here on the next play. And guess what? He's not going to score. I'm pretty sure the goalie just made a save with his finger. I don't know how the puck didn't just go right through his finger and into the net. Pretty weird. Kaberle's more known for his passing than his shooting. So that shouldn't come as a surprise to people who have seen him in the NHL. Here I get a breakaway, and I swear my wrist shot accuracy caused this shot to go right at the goalie. But, thankfully, that's not always the case, because occasionally you can let off a bomber like this one, and it goes right in. So the goalie was being screened on that play, so as long as it was at the net, it was going to be good. And here I'm going to get a little bit closer to the net when I go for this wrist shot here, and it ends up going in as well. Plus the little between the legs deke, something that he can do pretty well. But honestly, the only reason you should get Kaberle is because he's a great defensive defenseman. Big body means big hit in this play. I think his 96 strength might have also contributed to it. And he made an amazing pass right there. It's the type that you can expect from him. He's got a dangerous poke check with defensive awareness. He can make a lot of defensive plays on his own. And that's what many of the rest of these clips are going to be. Probably should have had more passing clips, but I mean, he was passing normally, so I kind of just didn't really think about recording any of the passing clips. This one's a great one. He's going to start it off all by himself, and then I'm going to go in, take control, and poke check myself. But the best thing about him is definitely his speed, because look right here, I am way behind this guy. I managed to catch up to him and poke check the puck and stop him from scoring on that breakaway. So he's a great card in his own right, but for the price, I feel like I'd much rather have a card that can do everything on defense. Which is why I'm giving him a value of 5 out of 10. I raised it from 4 out of 10 after I realized his price went down to 600k from 700k. So he's definitely the card where nothing will get by him defensively, but offensively you're not going to get much from those really good opportunities. Which is why I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 for offense. He's good at everything but shooting accurately. He's also not very good on face-offs. You know, if all your centers and wingers and forwards get injured, you probably want to have a defenseman who's good at face-offs. But defensively, Kaberle is a gem. Scoring a perfect 10 out of 10, and there's not really anything that he can do better to get an 11 out of 10. Synergy-wise, it's very tricky with him because he has 6 synergy points, but 2 of them are in Takeaway King, a synergy that you can't even activate yet, I think. And if you can, he doesn't really need it. Then he has 4 synergy points, 3 of them are in Team Synergy, Cycle Game Tape to Tape, and 1 in Wicked Wrister, which is a player synergy. But I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you that when we're already like 5 months into the game. So the Wicked Wrister helps because it's the only thing that will help his accuracy. While it's a funny synergy for him to have, it rounds him out a little bit better. And the Cycle Game and Tape to Tape synergies certainly make a lot of sense, but don't help him incredibly much since all of his passing defensive stats are pretty much maxed out. But again, they'll be there to help out other players. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 for synergies because, well, if you buy him for 600,000, you're pretty much only buying 4 synergy points. The 4 synergy points either make him better or they make sense. Next, let's focus on Tanguay, who you can grab either his weak version, the 91 overall, or his even weaker version, the 87 overall. You buy the 91 overall for 130,000 pucks, or you can make a set and waste a lot of collectibles. Your choice. Would you prefer to waste pucks, or would you prefer to waste collectibles? Whatever the case may be, you could probably tell by now that I didn't like him very much. So this was my first impression of him. I believe he's going to be on the right there in front of the net. I'm going to get this puck to him for a cross-crease one-timer, and what the fuck was that? You thought Kaberle's accuracy was terrible? Well, Tanguay's was a little bit better, at least in terms of the stats, the numbers. But every time I missed the net like this, I kind of just grew to expect it. This one's going to be the real heartbreaker. I'm going to give him the puck. He goes in, makes some nice moves here, and takes one of the weakest shots I've ever seen. His goalie's going to pass it out. I'm going to get it right back, and I'm going to give it to him for a one-timer. And I was about ready to drop my controller there. Thankfully, sometimes you can come in for a nice and simple one-timer and not miss the net. Or even score a goal that you don't expect to go in because you kind of have just seen enough of them. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. I approve of this one. Also, if you can't score a clean goal, you can just launch a bomb like this one. He's going to be on the right in front of the net again. Going to give him the puck and shoot top right, and guess what? That is not where it's going to go. But it went in. Yay. The only positives I saw coming out of Tanguay is it was a lot of fun to just move around with him. His puck control, his deking, his agility just made it a lot of fun to hold on to the puck with him. So while you can score on this play, it's probably better if you do all those different moves and then set up a teammate with a pass. And then again, I'm going to do some windmill dekes and go right through the opposition. A lot of fun, like I said. I'm glad he tripped me there because I wasn't going to finish with Tanguay. So let's begin with his value. He's very valuable as a dangling playmaker. That's it, though. Don't expect him to do anything else. So the value is based on what you want out of him. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. If you want a passing, playmaking dangler, well then he'll work out for you. But if you want someone that can shoot like a decent human being, regardless of the stats, I honestly can't believe he has those stats. Even with Wicked Wrister activated, he still couldn't shoot properly. He's probably not going to be the type of card for you. Coupled with the price, I don't think that he's very valuable. Offensively, I just told you what he's good for and what he's not good for. If you want crisp passes, then get a bronze team and set your aim assist all the way to 100%. His passing just isn't going to help too much. You could probably see those rare occasions where you just split the D or go right through like a bunch of people, and the opponent's going to chase you around, and that's when you go for the pass to like a one-timer across crease right in front of the net to someone else. And that right there, he could be a valuable contributor to the team. Because of that, he's going to get a 6 out of 10 for offense, and honestly, I didn't see much of his speed either. Defensively, can Tanguay even play defense? I have no idea. According to his stats, he should. 93 defensive awareness, pretty damn good. Discipline means he's not going to take much penalties. Stick checking has a good poke check. Poise, he can do it all the time. Not very good with body checking, though. So according to this, yeah, he's probably above average in defense. So he might do a little bit better there. Synergies-wise, well, you're wasting 2 points in passing playmaker because he doesn't need the passing unless you want his offensive awareness and poise. Wicked Wrister just didn't even work. And one-timer seems like it could be kind of okay. Because of this, he gets a 3 out of 10 for synergies. On to Cristobal we go. Huet over here is 88 overall. He can be picked up for the price of 30,000. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to kill the 1 there so that there's less digits. And please, for the love of God, tell me that you're considering buying him as a backup goalie and not a starting goalie. I felt like I was handicapped or tied to a chain when I was doing my Huet series and forced to use him. So this is my first game with Huet in net. Big expectations for the guy. He has to fill in the shoes of Brizzy and Hextall, and look at what he does. He lets the first shot on him in. It was a good shot, no doubt about that. But it felt like anytime someone had a chance like that, it was going in. There was no chance Huet was going to stop that. Here goes 5-hole on him. I wouldn't have been angry, but it went right through Hua. His positioning was also so weird. He was so aggressive on this shot for absolutely no reason. If I didn't have strong defensive poke checking skills, this probably would have been a goal because the guy was going to take an easy shot in an empty net. Let's look at this one. Again, his positioning very far on the left, and it goes right at the empty net. It was a pretty nasty shot, but my point is that his positioning was like this on every shot. So look at where he is in relation to the puck carrier. He might as well be standing here because the net is just wide open. But don't worry, he's really good at making some saves like this one.
And another strong save.
Another strong save, guys. They don't just hand out that compliment all willy-nilly, I think. Maybe they do. But these are the type of shots you can expect him to save. And then coming up here are the type of shots you can't expect him to save. It's Cristo, you can't do anything about it. But when I take control of Bell on this penalty shot, I make sure I mind control him to make the right decision to make the save. Sometimes, though, his weird positioning actually does end up giving him a save. Here he's going to make a save on the Magic Man himself. I don't know if it was the 99 overall, but he stayed with him. Not a lot of goalies can say they have done that. At least not a lot of non-NHL goalies. So then occasionally, maybe once in like 30 games, he can bail you out with these 2 saves right here. But the second one, I don't know. I feel like he just shot right at the crystal ball. Don't expect it to happen at all. One thing I did love about Hughes, though, is he is a huge troll. It's another one of those cases, opponent gets a good shot at the net. There's no way he's going to make the save because he's Huet. And the ref, for some reason, waved this off for goalie interference. You know what happened? Huet extended himself and kind of like bumped into that player right next to him and then immediately went to the ref like, yo, ref, goalie interference right here. This can't count. Because he knew he couldn't make the save, so he had to come up with an excuse. Sometimes Huet can also troll me. This play right here, he could have let this puck in at any time. And I'm here pissing my pants like, oh god, please, no, 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 no! And he's thinking to himself, maybe next time. And finally, I'm not even sure who he's trolling on this play. Look at him on the bottom right. Is he teabagging right there? Crouching up and down while the play is going on in the corner? Wow. Despite all this, people are very scared of him. As you can see here, he has a 5-0 record, and opponents like, nope, I'm out. Cristobala's in net. So I'm going to disconnect and have a nice day. So those are the clips that I had for you guys for him. And unfortunately, I didn't record too many of him letting in a lot of goals, but don't worry, they happen a lot. So his value is as a backup goalie. If you want him as a starting goalie, grab his 92 overall. He gives 4 synergies that are kind of all over the place. And the way that I look at it is if you're not going to activate all of the synergies, then he's not going to be that useful to you. I personally don't have bombers, so I could probably just get a goalie with 3 synergies, couldn't I? Or I could find a goalie with a 4th synergy that I also use. So can he stop one-timers? Nope. Can he stop point shots? Nope. Breakaways? Hell no. I just realized I didn't record any of the breakaways that were against him. For some reason, he is super aggressive there too, and they're pretty much shooting at an empty net when they go on their backhand. I personally don't think he will ever stop a breakaway on his own. But the most important question we have to ask ourselves is, how is his trolling? On a scale of a shirt that says troll to why you have to be med Mr. Universe Brizzy, I think he's on his own level beyond Brizgalov. You saw those clips, you can't deny it. On synergies, they're okay. Like I said, they have to fit you. So let's move on over to Mr. Fresh Air himself, Havlat, who I wrongfully punished by actually putting him as a left wing instead of Tanguay, when this guy was performing way better than him. His price is a little bit tricky, there aren't that many out right now, but you could probably pick him up for a solid 150 to 160,000. So let me show you what Mr. Breath of Fresh Air is capable of. Tanguay is going to start off this play with some terrible defensive play. Number 24, Havlat, right behind him, is going to help out and get this puck. It'll be a one-on-one situation with this guy, and oh my god. Oh my Huet. Wasn't that gorgeous? I thought that was gorgeous. Cue the replay, because we got to see it one more time. Gets a nice attempt on this next play here off the face-off. Gonna skate all the way around the net and do my little tricky backhand. Doesn't go in, but it was still good enough for me. Some high discipline coming out of Havlat right here with this yard sale, breaking the dude's stick, not getting a penalty. That obviously means high discipline, right? He probably just got lucky, but still makes a sweet move, sweet pass, ends up being a goal. Unlike anyone else I have mentioned on this review player thing, Havlat battles hard. He goes to the net, challenges the puck carrier. He just puts in a lot of effort in all of his plays. He's on the top left now. He's going to get bumped off the puck. He's going to get it right back and get a one-timer right in front of the net. Doesn't go in, but still a good opportunity. He's good at getting the puck. He's good at drawing penalties as well. Hell, to me, he was making more plays than Tanguay. He was doing so damn good defensively. Like, he was so far back here because I went in with a defenseman. Makes the right play there. Then later on in the game, causes this turnover right here, grabs the puck, and then it leads to this goal, which of course Tanguay ends up getting. I don't know how he didn't miss the net. And while I didn't have many offensive plays with him, I could just feel he was a completely different player. Here I'm going to hit the post, and all it was just me being unlucky. He shot top right like I wanted him to. So that's why he gets to be on the squad and not Tanguay. So yeah, didn't have many clips, but he definitely felt a lot better. He gets a 6 out of 10 for value, but his only drawback is his cost might be a little bit too high for how he plays. He played solid, but not top tier solid. Almost kind of like comparing him to Madano. So if you want a temporary card until maybe a little bit later on in the year, I think Havlat is for you. You could upgrade him to a top tier player whenever you want. But he's only just barely underneath that tier in my opinion. If he just got little boosts everywhere, I think he would be an amazing player. Offense-wise, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 because he seemed to have been doing everything right. Those little boosts and everything probably would mean that he would finish a lot more. And then I'd probably have a lot more clips for you guys. But he's fast enough with the speedster synergy, 99 and everything if you include team wheel. So it works out. Defense-wise, you saw him out there making some great plays. I'm not even sure what contributed to it. I kind of just worry that it's not going to happen all the time, so I don't want to bank too much on his defense. Finally, it's his synergies. His synergies are good because they don't take him over the max. But I guess he wouldn't be over the max in anything anyway. Speedster makes him as fast as he could possibly be, almost. Dirty Dangler makes him more creative. Cycle Game is really the only one I'm not so sure about. Something else probably would have been more useful there. So he's going to get a 6 out of 10 for synergies from me. So that'll do it for these player reviews. I hope I helped you guys come to a decision on whether or not you want to try some of these players. And it's interesting to see how my opinion of these players have changed from the player overview to the player review. With that said, that'll do it for this episode of Player Reviews. I'll see you guys around.